morning, Charlie. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Daddy. Good morning, Dad. What time is it?
It's time to get ready for school. All right, make sure you brush your teeth properly.
But in Matthew 6, he introduces a radical concept to them that would forever change the way they prayed. Now, they've known God as this creator. They've known God as the one who visited with fire, who parted the Red Sea, the one who gave the commandments to Moses, the laws and all these things they followed. They've known God as that, but for them, it was hard to see God as a father. So when Jesus was going to teach them how to pray, according to Matthew 6, from verse 9, he says, "Our Father who is in heaven." You know, as much as we've seen God through scripture as being this creator, this mighty warrior, this God who answers through fire, dealing with the Egyptians with the plagues. Jesus came and introduced a radical concept for us to believe, and that his concept was for us to also relate to God as a father. And before then, everybody saw God as the great God that he is. Yes, he is. But Jesus brought a more relational aspect of God to us. So when he was teaching the disciples on what or how to pray, he says, "Our Father, which art in heaven." So when we unpack that prayer of Jesus teaching the disciples on how to pray, and he says, "Our Father," he took them back to that first thing that they need to experience daily, which is the love of the Father, the care of the Father, the protection of the Father, and the grace that the Father gives. The problem is you push this thing out and it's hard to force it back. You know, I was trying to fix this bike and I got my tools out. I got everything out, making sure I'm going to get this bike working. And I thought I'd fixed it until I flipped the bike over and realized the thing is still broken. And I think that's how sometimes life is. You can give it your best, and the peace you get from knowing that you did your best, I think surpasses everything. So with fixing a bike, with fixing a meal, with doing certain things, sometimes you will not always get it right, but because you're human and you're limited in what you can do. But the important thing is that you showed up and you tried to do your best, which is all I always try to do. Guys, don't go down. The reason I want you guys to go down there is because if you don't know how to use your brakes properly, you're going down a slope, or you can go into the street.
Oh, that makes much sense. Yeah, and I probably would have stressed in it. But you didn't get like.
Just practice with your brake chain.
Got it.
All right.
Okay. So go for like.
My boys riding a bike. I believe that giving them advice just enough. You know, you want to give them enough advice to help them even when you're not there. So it's something that rings in them. For me, that's what daily bread is, where you have something that you can hold on to even when no one is there. So God telling the children of Israel that, no, just take enough for one day, because if you try and overload yourself with too much responsibilities, too much stuff, you get in trouble. But if they stay within the parameters of what I've said and how I've said they should play, there's safety in that. Tell them, buddy. Come and make your pizza.
Coming down.
Alright, yeah, show me how you guys make it.
Okay, what I do is I grab a spoon of tomato sauce, carry it over, pour it on the pizza. I add some pepperoni. I add cheese in places that I haven't got, you know.
You put your cheese before the pepperoni? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like putting cheese before the.
Remember the pizza you made where you hid all the pepperoni?
Oh yeah, and I like to have one taste.
Yeah, you taste it.
And I like to have.
Made the biggest mess. I don't know who made the biggest mess. Even though I'm the best chef in the house, sometimes I still get to learn and see what they do. So learning from them how they do it and looking at it and knowing where they're going with it, I could pick out a few things. You know, of course, every moment is a teachable moment, both for me as their father and for them as my son. So They taught me how to make their pizza, and I taught them how to stay between the lines. And sometimes that's what's required, is color between the lines. Don't go out. Don't move out the boundaries. I love to relax. And I love to unwind every now and then because, like I said earlier, the demands are a lot. A few years ago, I went on a trip to Nigeria, and on my way back from Nigeria, I caught COVID and I had to be quarantined when I got back. And I remember in that season, God says two things to me. He says, if you don't rest physically, you're susceptible to sickness. And he also said, if you don't rest spiritually, you're susceptible to spiritual attacks. So every now and then, after I have a long day, I love to play video games. Catch me on Call of Duty, yes. And my name is Wollywood, yeah. If for y'all don't know, my name is Wollywood, and you can find me there just dropping bodies, you know. I want to drop them in real life. I drop them on screen, but I'm going to close with this, you know. There's a line in the prayer that Jesus said that I felt was so powerful, and he says, give us this day our daily bread. And for me, what that means is that there's a portion or a provision that God makes daily available for each and every one of us. So if we go to heaven right now, in the storehouse of heaven, there's a package with today's dates there with your name on it. And your Father made provisions for you from the foundations of the earth. So all you need to do is ask, Father, give me this day my daily bread. For some of us, that bread is wisdom. For some of us, it's comfort. For someone listening today, it's a peace that you've been searching for. There's a bread that God has for you, and all he needs you to do is ask of him, our Father who art in heaven.